Welcome back to Razmafsar TV. I'm going to show you artifacts of Historical Museum of Crete. In earlier videos on my channel, I've shown you artifacts, arms and armor from ancient period of Crete. Heraclean Archaeological Museum today is another museum. When we were on Crete, in Greece, I visited different museums, and this is the second museum I'm showing you. In this video, I'm going to show you arms and armor from Crete. Crete has seen different, was exposed to different cultures. That's why you see a very, very nice atmosphere there, and a culture which has been affected by different cultures around. I'm going to show you. I'm going first to show you only in this arms and armor in this video. In next videos, you're going to see different other artifacts. So let's go and see. We have the first Byzantine period, 330 to 827 8 of Crete. Crete had been a Roman province, so a Roman province already since the 1st century BC, before Common Era. After the definitive split of the Roman Empire in 395 Common Era, the island of Crete came under the administrative jurisdiction of the Eastern Roman Empire, so the Byzantine Empire, with Constantinople as its capital city. Gortys remained the military, administrative, and ecclesiastical center of Crete and retained its urban character during a period in which the return to rural life and agriculture prevailed. Documentary evidence of the period testifies that Heraclion was called Heraclea or Castro at that time. Then we move on. Arab occupation. This is interesting because please look at this. This was from 827 8 to 961 Common Era. CE, remember that there are also some artifacts written in Arabic, even in Persian. I will show it to you later. So in 827 to 8, while Arab-Byzantine antagonism in the Mediterranean was culminating, Andalusian Arabs who had been expelled from Spain landed on Crete and conquered a major part of the island. So you see they come from Andalusia. It's interesting for me later on. I'm going to do research, also talk to private collectors there, also to museums, if they took any of their famed swords from Andalusia there, those double-edged ones, which are straight ones, which are kept in the military museum of Madrid. On the site of what was later to become the city of Heraclion, they founded the Fort Rabtul Khandaq, the fortress of the trench, or Khandaq's trench, which served as the administrative center of an idiosyncratic Arab emirate, and from which wide-ranging raids against territories of the Byzantine Empire were carried out. Gortys and other Cretan cities now gradually declined. Then we have Second Byzantine period. They came back 961 to 1204. The persistent efforts of the Byzantines to recapture Crete were met with success, were successful in 1961. Expeditions in the 1961 expeditions, led by the Byzantine general Nikephoros Phokas. To strengthen their presence on the island, the Byzantines took immediate measures, which included constructing strong fortifications. You can see some of them, or traces of them, reorganizing the administration, bringing over veteran soldiers to reinforce the population, and restoring the role of the church. Economic development and intellectual and artistic activity, however, became manifest or apparent only towards the end of this period, with the rise of large estate ownership and the general strengthening of the authority of the local nobility. The Megalo Castro, the great fortress, as Khandaq was now being called, became the administrative center and the seat of the metropolitan church of the island. Then we go to Venetian rule. This is very important, 1204 to 1669. In 1204, after the siege of the Constantinople by the Crusaders of the Fourth Crusade, the Byzantine Empire was dissolved. As its territories were shared out among the victors, Crete, which in the meantime had been subjugated by the Genoese, fell to the lot of Venice. The Duke of Crete and the Latin archbishop were established in Khandaq, now called Candia, which became, Candia is, by the way, a beautiful city there in Crete, which became the Khandaq in Arabic, very interesting, which became the capital city of the Kingdom of Crete, Il Regno di Candia, under Venetian rule. During this period, too, Cania and Rethymnon also developed into notable urban centers of the island. Crete remained under Venetian rule until its conquest by the Ottomans in 1669. And in 1669, here I've shown you some artifacts here, but we are going to see that. Look at from during that time when Ottomans attacked, from a narration by a French military officer who arrived at Candia in June 1669. That year, the city fell. The town was in a horrendous state. The streets were full of shot, shells, and shrapnel from mines and hand grenades. Not a single church or building stood that had not been blasted through and left almost in ruins by enemy cannon fire, means by Ottomans. The houses were no longer anything more than wretched hovels. The stench everywhere was disgusting. At every turn, one could see people lying dead, wounded, or mutilated. And this was the siege of Candia. The siege of Candia, modern-day Heraklion Crete, was a prolonged military conflict in which Ottoman forces besieged the Venetian-controlled capital of the Kingdom of Candia. It lasted very long, lasting from 1648 to 1669, a total of 21 years. It is regarded as one of the longest sieges in history. Although it ultimately ended in an Ottoman victory, the immense cost and effort of the siege significantly weakened the Ottoman Empire, contributing to its gradual decline, particularly in the aftermath of the Great Turkish War. So you can see that now the museum starts with artifacts. These are excavated items from that battle. You can see body armor. You can see also arrowheads on the ground. You can see also swords in a excavated condition. You can see mace, right? You can see that this is a side sword. You can see it's a white blade with a complex hilt. And this is a sword with a cross guard hilt. And then body armor reminds me of the later body armor, actually. Yeah, and then you see another body armor and lots of arrows on the ground. So these, and then also shells, hand grenades, syrups, cannonballs. And then look at this. 4 of the 7 axes which were placed by the Turks on the Sabianara bastion in memory of the 7 battalions which fell during the siege of Candia. So there are 4 of these 7 axes. Ottomans put them 1, 2, 3, 4. You see them? As memory of the lost battalion, right? They're huge axes. For example, when you stand next to them, you come up like here, depending on your height, but an average man, I mean. Look, unbelievable. And this, or you can see that because they have this long shaft. This is the original shaft here, which goes into this pole. 4 of these. There used to be 7, and 4 of them are here in the museum, in original condition. Look at them. Really fascinating. So Candia was a Mediterranean island, which, according to ancient Greek sources, was renowned for its 100 cities, until Pliny demonstrated that there were only 40. Pierre Bellon, however, who visited the island and described it in great detail, counted only 3 cities, namely Candia, Rethymnon, and Kandax. Others add Knossos to the list in its role as royal city and capital of the Minoan kingdom, the homeland of the Strabo, the geographer. You see also there is a long, possibly spearhead or arrowhead here. So what was the language? Remember when the Turks came? The official language of the administrative machinery was, until the Pact of the Chalepa, 1878, Turkish, which was then written using Arabic characters, letters, Old Turkish. In everyday life, because Ataturk changed it into this modern Latin alphabet. In everyday life, however, Greek and the Cretan dialect in particular predominated, since not only the Christians but also Muslim Cretans spoke Greek. That's interesting. Indeed, most of them were completely ignorant of Turkish. This bilingualism is echoed in words, place names, and surnames of Turkish origin found in the Cretan dialect even today, such as Delikanlis, Delikanli, crazy blood, a wild youth, Abla, older sister, Batachis, Bataksi, defaulter trickster, Baches, Bakche, garden, Bahçe garden, Yeni kahve, Yeni kahve, new coffee house, Kuyumt Sakis, Kuyumchi, goldsmith, and Kalai Sakis, Kalaichi, tinsmith. So Crete was under Ottoman rule, the Ottoman rule for approximately 229 years, long time, from 1669, as we have seen before, when it fell to 1898. So 1669, the Ottomans captured Candia, Heraklion, making the end of the long siege and the full conquest of the island from the Republic of Venice. In 1898, after a period of unrest and pressure from European powers, Crete gained autonomy again as the Cretan state, though it remained nominally under Ottoman influence and suzerainty. In 1913, Crete was officially united with Greece following the Balkan Wars. So you see there are different things here. Also, there is a penknife, as I will show it to you later. And here, for example, this is this penknife, and this is a yatagan, right? Yatagan is sheathed with an old Turkish inscription on the blade, donated by the Korakas family. So they have also Greek yatagans, right? You can see this beautiful one, and also a penknife here. Look at this beauty. Look at the silver sheath and also chiseling. Also look at the scabbard and a beautiful yatagan blade. The yatagan, as you know, is sharp here. Then, yeah, gunpowder cases as well, as you can see them here, very beautiful, right? And then, yeah, this was made of enameled faience, eye zinc. Yeah. So then we go to a ritual double axe to those different areas. Tiber, we say in Persian tabar, in Turkish tiber, the symbol of the Bektashi, their dervish order. Look at that. Beautiful. Also from the island, Muslim Cretans. So, so then we have dervishes in Crete, the presence, you can see them here. The presence of a large number of Muslims attracted to the island. Um, certain Islamic order attracted to the island, certain Islamic orders of dervishes, of whom the most active were the Bektashis. The dervishes lived in Muslim monasteries, tekkes, which often had sizable properties from donations by the faithful for Kufa land. A total of 23, please look at it, a total of 23 Muslim monasteries were recorded on the island in the official census of 1881 with 147 residents. Fascinating, huh? Yeah, you see that? Different in Sahib al Khairat and Malka Ibrahim Pasha, Sani 1095. That's the year given in Hijrah. You can see it here also, double X 1234. Here گشاده باد به دولت همیشه این درگاه. Right? حق الشهیدان لا اله الا الله. That's the rest. This part, La ilaha illallah, is in Arabic, and the rest in Persian, actually. The door of this government should remain open all the time. With the justice of the martyrs. That's what it says. So Cretan Muslims, even before the Ottoman conquest of Khandaq, Heraklion, a wave of Islamization of the Christian inhabitants of Crete had begun, together with mixed marriages, which were to give rise to a new situation in the ethnological, or ethnic actually, and religious composition of the population. The Turco-Cretans, the new population unit which arose from the above processes, were of the Muslim faith. Muslim should be better with M-U-S-L-I-M, but retained many characteristics of the Cretan descent, such as the Greek language, clothing, diet, and even traces of Christian tradition. It's clear because they're mixed. And now we have very interesting one. Let me just see. This is the picture. You can see the painting, original, and his sword. What is this? Pala sword, as you can see it. This is actually Stratis Deligiannakis, also known as the Bikostratis. He was a celebrated Cretan fighter, Kapetanios, originally from Asfendou in the Sfakia region of Crete. He played a significant role in the Greek War of Independence on Crete, especially during the 1820s uprisings against the Ottoman rule. So, what did he do? He participated in the defense, so Stratis. He participated in the defense of the Arkadi monastery in January 1822, actively involved in numerous battles around Western Rethymno, emerging as a regional leader. He was hero of the Frango Castello, May 1828, following the death of the renowned fighter Haji Michalis Dalianis. Stratis took charge of the fortress defense at Frango Castello. According to multiple accounts, his exceptional marksmanship and leadership were instrumental in repelling Ottoman assaults. Historians attribute the fortress salvation to him, in particular to Deliyanakis. One owes the salvation of the fortress. He commanded a small group of about 60 elite fighters who struck terror in the besieging Ottoman forces through precise fire and steadfast defense. So we have then different guns. You saw them here, right? So, sorry, here from here, when we come down, so here next to this pala sword, we're going to see them, 5 guns. So, the first one, muzzle loading short barrel rifle, tromblon with flintlock mechanism, donated by Stylianos Giamalakis, right? So this is this one. We're going to see them more together. So then the second one is 18th century muzzle loading rifle of Ottoman make, manufacture, once owned by the rebel leader Stratis Delianakis, donated by Pedra Delianaki. So this number 2, it belonged to the Stratis, this to him. This is number 2. Look how beautiful it is. Here he's holding his sword. See that? So let me just go ahead and show number 3. Muzzle loading rifle with flintlock mechanism, donated by Ag Pratikakis, number 3. It's number 3. Then we go to number 4. Muzzle loading rifle of the early 19th century with flintlock mechanism, donated by Androklis Xantoudidis, number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is this one. Beautiful. Number 5, muzzle loading Albanian type pistol with flintlock mechanism. That's number 5 here. Yeah. And also so this number 5, and then number okay, let me see. Yeah. All right. As I can see, 6 and 7 are not there. Let me see. Yeah, they removed them there. Because if I come here, that's number 2, and number 2 should be, exactly, I did it correctly. Number 2 was this one, which belonged to him, Stratis. So the number 5, let me see. Yeah, 2 are missing, this one, and this was a number 5. Actually, it should be based on this sketch. So it should be one of them pistol with, so one of them either Albanian type pistol or Cretan type pistol flintlock mechanism. So this was back to the sword, curved sword pala, once owned by the rebel leader Stratis Delianakis, donated by Petra Delianaki. This one. Right. This is now the pala sword saber. Look how beautiful it is. Stratis owned it. You can see that it has silver sheath, and also here also gold sheath, heavily gilded though as well. Possibly rhino horn handle, very beautiful. If you take a look at the close-up, it's really a wide-bladed, solid blade, and very, very beautiful. Yeah, you see the flintlock mechanisms, what I've introduced you before. And also, the fittings are made of chiseled silver. You can see them here better. Really beautiful. This is Stratis gun, you see, covered, the gun stock is covered, wooden gun stock is covered with chased silver floral design. Really beautiful. We have another one, rebel leader who was fighting against the Ottomans, Dimitrios Tisikritis. He was from Zaros in the Rio district. So painting is by E. Marco Giannakis, donated by Zacharias Tisikritsis. Right? Look at how many pistols. He has 2 pistols here and 1 yatagan. You see that? Tucked in his sash. Proud and strong man. Right? Then we have different others. So we have these ones. Let's start with this one on the left, far left. Muzzle loading rifle with British flintlock mechanisms, donated by the Caracas family. We go to number 2, this one. Oops, sorry. Number two is breech loading Snyder type American rifle, 1864, owned by the rebel leader Apostolos Katakakis, donated by the Corpus family. Yeah, that was this one. Then we go to the next one. Third, Mannlicher M 1888 bolt action rifle. This one. Then we go number four, Ottoman Army Officer Source, pattern 1889. Pattern 1889, this one. Then number five, this one, this sword. Greek Army Infantry Officer Source, pattern 1868, once owned by the General Leonidas Panagiatakis, donated by Dorothea Kazimieraki Panagiotaki. And then we have number six, Gasser Montenegro M 1870 revolver, once owned by the captain Stylianos Pratsianakis or Dalias. Number six, yeah. Okay. And military prismatic binoculars, right? This one. It's a case for it as well. Very beautiful. Especially love these swords. Also nice pistol. Then here we have Oriental style knife owned by Capitan Kourmoulis, donated by Sotiros Kontaxis. This is this one. Look at this knife. Unbelievable, huh? Oh, it's like a wavy edge of a crest. Then what else do we have? We have also muzzle-loading pistol owned by Stavros Xektripsis, early 19th century, donated by Gallienio family. This one. Then we have parts of muzzle-loading pistols. Parts of muzzle-loading pistols. And also bullets from a muzzle-loading gun, and sealed with the inscription Merambelo Port Authority 1829. This one. Very nice. So this is a nice sword again. Greek cavalry officer's sword, 1887 pattern, owned by Colonel Timoleon Vassos. Look at this. There's also sword belt, everything intact. And this is a flintlock gun. You see that? And this is percussion cap, right? You see that? Very nice. So different type. This is a Cretan knife. I already made a video, but I'm going to discuss that again for you. So the Cretan knife is a unique and enduring symbol of the island's rich cultural heritage, as I said in a video before. It is rooted in Crete's long history as crossroads of civilizations and a land of resilience and defense. Cretan knives have evolved from practical tools, of course, to meaningful emblems of bravery, courage, tradition, and artistry. You can see it here. It has silver sheath, possibly over a wooden frame, chiseled, and also look at the tang bands, also chiseled silver. It has a hanging box. You can see that many of these Cretan knives have also with chains, hanging coins. This is this box hanging. This is a small folder. They still make these folders as well. I'll make a video and show it to you. Same shape. Very beautiful. Then this is Cretan knives owned by Captain D. Tsikritis, pension book belonging to the family of Captain Tsikritis. See that? Again, look at this beautiful handle. Yatagan handle, bıçak handle, tang bands, chiseled silver. And you can see how intricate the scabbard is. Really beautiful. If we move on, there is another Cretan knife here. Cretan knives became more than just utilitarian objects. They took on deep cultural and symbolic meanings integrated into the traditional male costume. Look at it here, please. That's the way they put it in the sash. So part of the scabbard is tucked in, but you can see clearly the handle. And look at the angle they carried. They represented courage, social status, and personal honor. Cretan knives were also exchanged or often exchanged as gifts, presents during important life events such as christening and weddings, frequently engraved with mantinades, short rhyming couplets expressing love, bravery, or wisdom. In wedding ceremonies, they were even believed to ward off evil spirits. A knife gifted to a woman was seen as a symbol of connection to a Cretan man, representing loyalty, protection, and respect. You see that here? Very beautiful. Tang band here, or cap symbol. They're not chiseled, but they has typical coins hanging from a silver chain. Then is this folder. Craftsmanship and design. Each Cretan knife is a unique creation, reflecting the identity of both the maker and the owner. Common features are blade made of high-quality steel, often curved with a sharp point and adorned with engravings of nature, battle scenes, or family emblems. Not all of them, some of them. Handle is crafted from materials like bone, horn, or olive wood, shaped for a firm grip and often carved with floral and foliate motifs, and sometimes inlaid with silver. Sheath, typically wooden, not always, but sometimes in leather or silver, featuring intricate designs such as crosses, floral patterns, or animal heads, commonly snakes or dragons, and often equipped with a chain for hanging ornaments or coins. Each knife is personalized, making it one of a kind, both functional and symbolic. See another Cretan knife? So what is the conclusion for us? Look at this beauty. It ends like in a dragon head somehow. It's very small, you will see that. And also, again, two coins. So the Cretan knife stands as a powerful emblem of the island's spirit, its history of resistance, pride, and artistry forged into steel. While the craft may be fading, its legacy keeps going on in the hands of those few who still shape these blades, make these blades, and in the hearts of those who carry them as symbols of a proud and storied tradition. You see that? This is small knife, also with the fish. And again, you see that another way of showing how they were carried, Cretan knives. Yes. So their Cretan knives are no longer used daily as they once were, but they remain a cherished aspect of Cretan culture. Their production today is largely focused on collectible items and souvenirs. You can see many who still make these knives in Crete. Although a few skilled artisans in Kanya, not only in Kanya, I've seen in other places as well, still practice the traditional methods often passed down from father to son. Many of the old knife shapes that once dotted villages across Crete have disappeared. The craft has become increasingly rare. Still, for the remaining craftsman, knife making is not merely a trade, but a vocation, an act of cultural preservation and love. Economic hardship has led to the loss or repurposing of many historical knives, stripping away pieces of Crete's artistic and cultural identity. Nevertheless, authentic Cretan knives continue to be treasured, whether by collectors, as heirlooms, or as meaningful gifts between friends and loved ones. You can see also a typical dress of Cretan man and woman. Here is with a knife. The museum has also some other pistols of modern period, First World War, Second World War. Just put some of them here. Not going into detail. That was that small pitchfork knife. Look how small it is compared to the rings. But they're not that small. The other ones are a normal dagger or knife size. And these are also some interesting knives. Some of them are Cretan basket maker's knife, right? And some of them are grape harvesting knives, right? So also knife culture for other fields, not only for fighting. Then here I also found an archer's ring. You can see how beautiful it is. Yes. So this was what I wanted to share with you. Thank you very much. Please subscribe to our channel and ask any question you have, and see you soon.